It's that flow, no, she my flow. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's that
Oldest African DNA offers rare window into past. A great irony about Africa is that, even though it's the birthplace of our species, we know almost nothing about the prehistoric populations who lived there, the bands of hunter-gatherers who moved across the massive continent, interacting with and sometimes replacing other groups. Today that changes. Thanks to new research that includes the oldest African DNA ever successfully read, we're seeing Africa's prehistory like never before. Archaeologists and paleogeneticists are finally starting to fill in some crucial gaps about the human story. Imagine you're an archaeologist, specifically a Paleolithic archaeologist who studies the earliest chapters of our story, before cities or iron or agriculture, and you're focused on Africa, which is, after all, where all of us can trace back our ancestry. Yes, all of us. Imagine what it's like to sit through one conference after another as colleagues who work in Eurasia share one thrilling discovery after the next, all unearthed thanks to paleogenomic research, or the study of ancient DNA. Edna, an entirely new ancient hominin, the Denisovans of Siberia, known only from fossil fragments that yielded Edna. Awesome. Successful sequencing of a 430,000-year-old genome from Spain. Super cool. Mori University's Jessica Thompson doesn't have to imagine. She is that Paleolithic archaeologist, and she felt a mixture of awe and envy as colleagues working at Eurasian sites were able to extract and study Edna, which needs cold, dry conditions to survive for any length of time. The dearth of Edna from Africa made it hard to understand the continent's rich past, and it also fueled a centuries-old myth that Africa was less significant. The success of paleogenomic research in Eurasia feeds that narrative that Eurasia is somehow more important than Africa, and that's frustrating to me. Hungry to have more information, says Thompson, echoing the feelings of other archaeologists working in Africa. I know it's because we don't have these nice, cold environments. A light bulb went off at one of those conferences for Thompson, however. She remembered a cave she'd visited as a tourist. It was in Malawi, on a high plateau mountain called Hora, where human skeletons had been excavated in the mid-20th century. And it was cold. Thompson and colleagues were unable to get access to skeletons found previously at the Mount Hora site, but they returned to Malawi and found new samples. The Mount Hora material, combined in the new research with other Edna from Kenya, Tanzania and South Africa, represented 15 individuals in total, ranging in age from 400 to 8,100 years old. A previously studied Edna sample from Ethiopia, dated to 4,500 years ago, was also included along with modern African DNA samples for comparison. The oldest sample, collected by Thompson at Mount Hora, is the oldest African DNA ever successfully extracted and sequenced, a scientific advance in and of itself. But there's even bigger significance to the new study, for which she served as second author. For one thing, the paper represents close collaboration between some of the world's leading paleogeneticists and archaeologists. Despite both fields delving into the past, researchers often work in parallel tracks that don't overlap much, looking at different data as they attempt to answer the same questions: how our species evolved and spread across the planet. Ancient DNA has revolutionized the field and offers detail in areas we could never hope to achieve, says Thompson. Genetic data gives insight into where people were and what intimate contact, they had with other groups. And the first of those insights arrives with the new research.